What's going on, AAA family? I'm your boy, Coach Smook, here on the Coach Smook Network, representative of Alabama at the Voice of College Football, insider and analyst for your Alabama football content, here to react to a list that's been released by On3. And as you all know, I'm not a huge fan of On3's preseason list and rankings. To me, they just don't seem to hit it ever. They never hit it. So you saw the 2025 preseason true freshman All-American team released by On3. And as a Bama fan, I felt disrespected. One, you have a recruiting class that ended up being the number 3 ranked recruiting class. And in order to have a number 3 ranked recruiting class, you have to have some studs on that recruiting class. You have to have some guys that are game changers, immediate impact type players. And Alabama currently has, right now going into the 2025 fall season, you're going to see maybe 3 true freshmen get some impactful playing time on a veteran stacked talented roster at the University of Alabama. One being Dijon Lee Jr., one of your top rated cornerbacks in this 2025 recruiting class. And for some reason, he's not on this list. But you also have 4-star edge rusher Justin Hill in this class. He's not on this list. You also have Latier Brooks, who I believe, is going to have to earn his due. But when you look at you turn on the film, there's no reason not to believe that he's going to end up being one of the most explosive and productive freshmen out of this 25 class. So let's pull his list up and see what it looks like here. So looking at this list right now at the quarterback position, Bryce Underwood getting the nod there. I can't argue with it. I think if you're going to talk about guys that's going to be able to impact their team immediately as freshmen, Bryce Underwood has that realistic chance up at Michigan right now. Looking at Gideon Davison at Clemson, I don't think he was the better back, and I don't think his impact at Clemson is going to be seen as much as now with the injury to Jan Miller. A.K. Deere at Alabama has an opportunity to make a lot of noise. I'm going to be Bama biased here because this is a Bama channel, and I'm looking at the recruiting class that Alabama was able to sign in this 25 class, and you're seeing guys on this list that don't even match up. Lincoln Kerr, as good of a talent he's not better than Marshall Pritchett in his class. He's not better than Caleb Edwards. Maybe got a lot more attention in Kansas, but Caleb Edwards came out of the same state and was a higher rated player than Lincoln Kerr. I can't argue with the wide receiver selections. I think all 3 of these guys are going to programs where they're going to be immediate targets. So Latier Brooks, Derek Meadows just coming into a situation at Alabama where there's so much veteran presence and skill sets in front of them. Latier Brooks looking more poised to crack into the lineup and be have impactful input in his freshman year than Derek Meadows. So can't be mad with the wide receiver selection there. But this offensive line selection, you got to think Alabama right now on roster has 4 of the 4 offensive linemen that we signed in this 25 class are all top 50 rated guys at their position. All top 50 rated guys. David Sanders, I could see that being a solid guy out there at Tennessee, but Michael Fasusi over Michael Carroll or Lloyd Jackson, I'm not in agreement with it. And we still have to talk about Mal Waldrop, who's probably the most underrated offensive lineman signee in this Alabama class, and is probably going to end up having the most extensive career, being that he can play the guard, center, and tackle position. Michael DuBose finally turning the curve, one of the bigger bodies in this in this recruiting class. And he's not on this list. Well, I can see why DuBose is not, but you're going to have to do some explaining why Michael Carroll and Lloyd Jackson are not on this list for preseason All-American. And these two I'm talking about the best tackle and the best offensive lineman. And when I say offensive lineman athletically, Michael Carroll is the best offensive lineman in this 25 class, easily. Edge rusher Justin Hill over Jaden Woods. I take Marco Jones. I like his skill set going to Texas, being able to impact early in his career. But you can't do this. You can't get Jaden Woods at Florida. And I don't think he's going to even be able to impact the game. If you're going to give Jaden Woods that nod, you got to give Justin Hill the same nod. They're basically in the same position on the depth chart for both defensive schemes. And I think when you put the film side by side, you don't see Jaden Woods as better than Justin Hill. Don't mind Elijah Griffin there. Don't mind Dante Simpson down in Miami there. The linebacker core. I would make a case for Abdul Sanders Jr. to be in this room. A preseason All-American. I think he'll have opportunity to be that. Well, outside of that, I think our linebacker core that's signed to this class is the future. So, yeah, I don't see them getting a lot of accolades this season because they won't be needed in that aspect as far as true freshmen. Now, I'm looking at the 5 defensive back selections right here for preseason All-American. And I know for a fact there's one freshman defensive back at Alabama that's going to be playing. That's Dijon Lee. Rated higher than every DB on this list right now. Rated higher than every DB on this list and is playing in a system at Alabama that had, 3-4 true freshmen last season playing impactful minutes. I think more so than ever, this is the year where we see Alabama secondary show out, and Dijon Lee is going to make a lot of big plays for Alabama to set himself up for a long 3-4 year career at the University of Alabama in collegiate athletics. And because of the skill sets that surround him and him not having to be forced into some of these roles, I think that might be the reason why he might be getting looked over. But he's going to be impactful, and by the end of the season, he'll be on that freshman All-American list. So, looking at the list and just naming some of the names, what are your thoughts on On3's preseason All-American freshman team? Let me know in the comments and let me know what you think about this form of content. We're going to continue to drop more videos that's straight to the point, no music as much or not as much music and things of that nature, so we can start just getting our reactions out to content that we talk about in the shows anyway. So if you like this form of content, drop a like, make sure you share the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Roll Tide, roll.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.